The Sharks offense continues to hum along as they win 4-2 over the Kraken.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. My name is JD Young, caretaker of the Reef, also the co-host of Western Conference Tuesdays on the Locked On NHL channel. I want to thank you for making it Locked On Sharks your first listen. Proudly part of the Locked On Network, we cover your team every day. If you want to be an everydayer, all you have to do is just follow wherever you get podcasts, or you can watch on YouTube as well. And today we're going to be breaking down the Sharks 4-2 win on Saturday night versus Seattle Kraken. Talk about the good and we can't let the Kraken take a bajillion shots in a row bad from it. Also digging behind the numbers of it and checking on the Barracuda, who have quietly won 3 games in a row and after they sweep Abbotsford this weekend. And Thomas Bordeleau playing some of his best hockey that I have watched him play. So before we get to all that, do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. So the Sharks win 4-2 on Saturday night. The offense continuing to hum along. Now, I mean, you look over the past week, the lowest goal production they had was 3 games against Ottawa, and you could argue that they deserved much more in that game. This offense has really found its groove recently, and like as we kind of talked about the other day, of having 3 lines that can all give you potential scoring with the Celebrini line, the Wenberg to Foley line, and now the Granlund Smith line, the Granny Smith Apple line. The Sharks offense is really starting to find its groove here. And it's been a long time since the Sharks were able to roll out 3 lines like this, where you could potentially get scoring almost any time the Sharks are on the ice. And it was good to see the Sharks take advantage for like the first half of the game and score a bunch of goals against Joey Daccord, who's had a really great season to start the year. But then the second half of this game, which is, I think you're coming on the second night of a back-to-back. You just played this team on Friday. You just beat the brakes off of them 8-5 on Friday afternoon. You're winning 4-0. It's very easy to get complacent. And I think this is going to be a very big teaching moment for Ryan Warsofsky, especially as the Sharks. We'll look at the schedule coming up here, but the rest of this trip is no joke. And for a Sharks team that is learning how to win, this is, I think, going to be a very teachable moment for the Sharks. Of you cannot, good teams, and if the Sharks want to be a good team eventually, you cannot just park the bus. Not in today's NHL, especially with half a game remaining. And that is what the Sharks did. They basically parked the bus. That bus had been abandoned so long they were stripping the tires off of the bus. That's how the Sharks just basically were content to we'll let them play defense. We'll play defense. We'll get the puck. We'll chip it into the offensive zone. We'll change, and then we'll just do it again. And when you're up 4 with 10 minutes left, okay. When you're up 4 with half a game left, the NHL nowadays, the offenses are too good. Goal scoring is up. Goaltending is down. We've seen the Sharks themselves do it. We've seen it happen to them, and we've seen them do it this season alone. Of being able to either piss away leads like they did against the Blues in the first game of the season, or to actually come back, as we saw versus Utah, or a bunch of the games where the Sharks have been able to come back. And I think for the Sharks, again, like the Sharks won this game, and I don't want to sound harsh and stuff, but this is going to be a teach. Is we want this Sharks team to eventually be very good. These are what good teams do, is you put this game, especially once it was right. It's 4-0. Sharks gave up a goal right away to make it 4-1. And instead of pushing to regain that 4-goal lead and really kind of put the game out of reach, the Sharks were content with just kind of hanging around and just trying to hang in there. And this game was way too close at the end of the game. So this is going to be, I think, a huge teaching moment for the Sharks and something that they can hopefully learn from. And like we saw success, right, against the Kings. You had a 3-goal lead. Next thing you know, it's 7-2 because you put the game away, right? Even the Kraken game, you put games away and you make it so the team just basically has to kind of wave the white flag. You don't stop until they wave the white flag, basically. And I think for the Sharks, this is going to be a teaching moment from them. But we have to though talk about Smith and Celebrini, who continue to do just great things. Macklin Celebrini named the Rookie of the Month for November for his performance this month. Had another assist in this game and was about half an inch from potting on his a goal in 5 consecutive games. Celebrini has been more than, like, I've talked about it so many times, but like Celebrini is he's so special, and you're seeing it night in, night out. He always just gives you something every game where you're just like, yeah, that, like, just most people don't do stuff like that. And you see it in this game where he's, especially in the defensive zone, right? For what he's like, all the offensive stats are amazing. And that's what's going to, of course, be like what people attract to. But the way he plays in the defensive zone, the way he wins board battles against guys who are much bigger than him, much stronger than him, much, older, wiser, veteran tricks, everything. Like, it's insane, his ability to just constantly come out of board battles with a puck. And then not only do that, like the ability to switch from, that like physical, let me get the puck. And then all of a sudden he gets a little open ice and then just switch gears into that finesse. I'm going to find open space and make guys look silly. It's a thing of beauty, and he's such a joy to watch. And like, I think if it wasn't for Celebrini, we'd be talking about Will Smith all the time, because Will Smith, basically since Celebrini's come back and really since Will Smith switched to wing, we've seen Will Smith really start to blossom here. And he played his first back-to-back game this weekend. Rewarded the Sharks with another goal on just an absolute, like, insane sauce pass from Mikael Granlund to Will Smith. And Will Smith is just going to bury those. We've seen that shot of his is absolutely beautiful. And as he gets more confident and continues his development, like, you see why he's so intriguing. He's so, like, why the Sharks are so excited about him. But Will Smith this month, like, he had it, like, in the past month, basically, he had a massive month for the Sharks too. Like, don't think that just because, Celebrini's getting all the headlines, Matvei Michkov is doing what he's doing over there. But, during basically he had 2 goals on Halloween night, right? Since then, 3 goals, 6 assists for 11 points this past month. It's not too bad. Not too bad from Will Smith. Like, he's finding his game right now. And we said before the season, right? Can you show progress from month to month? Look at how the Sharks kind of played October. And now look at how the Sharks played November. And they're going to have some down points. And this week, this upcoming road trip and week very much points to, like, a potential dip. But right now, like, this team is humming offensively, which is taking pressure off the defense, taking pressure off the goaltending. And that's what you want to see. You want to see the progress, and the Sharks are showing progress. They're showing progress from their young players. You're getting key contributions from their veterans like Jake Wallman and Mikael Granlund. Wallman, again, could you imagine trading Wallman away for free and also giving up a second-round pick? Like, You'd have to be an idiot to do that. But the Sharks right now, like, you're seeing exactly what you want from this team as they continue to get better night in, night out. They're learning from their mistakes. And I think this game gives the opportunity for the Sharks to learn from, you still won the game, but there was a lot to clean up in the second half of this game. So we'll dig into the numbers some more, look at how the lines performed, talk about Mackenzie Blackwood and his bounce back performance from a very shaky game against the Sens. So we'll get to that here in just 1 second. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So you get a hunch in the middle of the game. Maybe you think the Colts come back and beat the Patriots very late. Check out the latest stats. You can view live play-by-play and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL. And if you want to get down to the tank, or maybe go catch a Warriors game, Niners game, you need to check out Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to your favorite live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have curated deals to make it easier to find the best price on great seats. Of course, you can see your seats before you buy. That way you know exactly what your view is going to look like. Nothing worse than getting to an event and realizing that your seats stink. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets at Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNHL, LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. All right, let's dig into the numbers of this game. And again, like, the Sharks played really well in their first period. It's just the second half of the game. And again, you're up 4-0 or 4-1, basically, really quickly. It's very easy for a young team to get complacent. And I think this is, again, like I mentioned, this is going to be a huge, huge teaching moment, I think, from Ryan Warsofsky for this young group. So Sharks got a lot of contributions from their defensemen in this game, of course. Cody Ceci scoring his first goal in a road game since like 2021, I think is what I saw for the number in that game. For that stat. Congrats to Cody Ceci for his first in Teal. You also got Mario Ferraro, who's heating up offensively now, who gets his second goal this season. Luca Cagnoni, absolute beautiful goal from him, and Will Smith scores as well. So you're getting you're getting contributions from so many different players, and I think that's what makes this Sharks offense so kind of dynamic right now. Is it's not just one dude, right? And yes, Celebrini's getting his. Grayland's getting his, and Eklund's been getting his. I think Eklund was held off the score sheet tonight or on Saturday night. You're getting a bunch of contributions from a bunch of different guys, but it's not just like one guy doing everything. I think, like, especially the beginning of the season, right, where it was very much like Tyler Toffoli of scoring, and that's basically it. You're getting scoring from a bunch of different guys, and even a guy like Toffoli, who hasn't really done too much lately. Like you feel like you're going to start as Toffoli starts to kind of come up as another guy. Like, there's ways where it feels like this is very sustainable, especially if the Sharks play like they did in the first half of this game. So in this game, though, we had 50 minutes and 40 seconds of 5v5. Shot attempts were 72-50. In favor of the Kraken. The Kraken were just shooting as much as they possibly can in this game. Again, when you're down by 4-1 for a majority, a good chunk of the game, definitely makes sense there. But actual shots at 5-on-5, 35-21, of course, in favor of the Kraken. Corsi 4, 59.02 to 40.98 in favor of the Kraken. Scoring chances 38-17, and then high danger chances 11-5, 2.69 to 1.24 in favor of the Kraken. Again, those numbers really inflated, especially in the second period for Seattle. The second period, which I really want to highlight here, is where the Kraken really kind of took it to the Sharks. 18-17 of 5-on-5. You had a power play, a Kraken power play to start it, but then the rest of it was even strength. 30-20 shot attempts, actual shots 17-10, scoring chances 18-8, 1.48 to 0.62 expected goals for the Kraken. And I think, right, like you expected them to push back, right? And that's going to happen when a team is down by 3. They're trying to get back into a game. But you will have loved to have seen the Sharks make a counter push, right? And get out there and try to go for that next goal to make it 5-1 instead of it being 4-2 that we saw later in the third period, and really kind of crush any hopes. And that then you have a nice easy third period instead of this scrambly third period that you had to play. And I think that's a, like I keep mentioning, that's a learning experience for the Sharks right there, is that second period, after, especially if they 4-1, the Kraken really took it to the Sharks there with the shot attempts and just kind of really focusing on getting the offense going. Shout out Mackenzie Blackwood, who was great in this game. We'll talk about him a little bit more, but that end of the second half of the second period would have been nice to get a at least just string together a couple of offensive shifts to kind of tamper things down at least. So as for the forward lines, so we had Sharks were able to kind of roll the lines a little bit. And we did have a lot of 5-on-5 time, but Macklin, Celebrini, Zetterlund, 14-16, time on ice, 15-15 shot attempts, 5-8 actual shots, had a goal from that line, 0.36 to 0.65 expected goals for, 5-9 scoring chances, 1-2 high danger chances. Again, these numbers are really going to be Kraken favorites because of the second half of this game. Cunnin Wenberg to Foley played 11 minutes, 9-22 shot attempts, 4-10 actual shots, 1 goal allowed, 0.18 to 0.76 expected goals for, 4-12 scoring chances, 2-4 high danger chances. So again, Cunnin had that really nice goal on the Dellandrea drop, coming right out of the penalty kill. Cunnin's been really good. I've given Cunnin plenty of crap on the show, but Cunnin's played really well. I think he's really kind of found his role on the team, and I think the numbers aren't very favorable right now on the Cunnin Wenberg to Foley line, but I think this is a really solid line for what the Sharks are looking for. Provide some scoring, can play some defense. Like, this line is exactly what the Sharks need right now. Smith, Granlund, Kostin, 10-18, 13-12 shot attempts, 7-6 actual shots, 2 goals for, 0.25 to 0.38 expected goals, 3-8 scoring chances, 1-2 high danger chances. Again, Granlund, this line just makes a ton of sense. Granlund doing what Granlund does. We've seen Smith's scoring ability. I think Smith playing with a guy like Granlund, who same kind of high hockey IQ, they can play off each other. And Clean Costin's really found his game since kind of coming back into the lineup. He took a kind of a bit of a spill where I think it was not knee on knee, but maybe like shin on shin, and kind of got spun around. Looked like it could have been bad, but dude didn't miss a shift. He is tough. And he really seems to have found his game, which is a really positive sign, especially how he started this season. So kudos to him. And then Sturm, Dellandrea, Ethan Cardwell played 6:46, 9-13 shot attempts, 2-5 actual shots, 1 goal allowed, 0.28 to 0.42 expected goals for, 4-4 scoring chances, and 1-3 high danger chances for that line. And that line, they do a good job helping out on the penalty kill. Cardwell has been Cardwell's getting big time penalty kill minutes right off the bat. Cardwell's an excellent penalty killer, and he knows his role. He's going to provide some scoring pop. Not afraid to mix it up as well. So Quickly, let's look at Mackenzie Blackwood before we get into the Barracuda here. So Blackwood in all situations, 36 saves on 38 shots, 2 goals against, expected goals against 2.88, 947 save percentage, 2 goals allowed, 5 of 6 high danger shots, 13 of 14 mid danger, and 14 of 14 low danger. And I know there was the goal that wasn't very, it was like 7 seconds left. The NHL, these goalie interference ones, if you're making contact with the goalie, like they're just going to probably call it goalie interference, especially with its goal to the head. I know it's 7 seconds left, but they're being very like you cannot make contact with the goalie, especially if it's to the head. So good on the NHL for calling that. They've been very consistent with that this year. Like you see a lot of these where the goalies even the Sharks had one earlier this year against, I think it was the Stars or the Wild, where no, maybe it was the Rangers, where the guy just kind of like coming from behind the net made contact with the goalie. Like they're going to call that stuff. And so Blackwood got a little bit lucky there with not allowing the third goal in, but like I said, Blackwood is going to have a big response after the performance he put up against the Sens. Blackwood went out and had a big response against the Kraken tonight. So we'll finish up here by talking about the Barracuda, who have now won 3 games in a row and had a very nice performance this weekend over Abbotsford. So we'll get to that here in just 1 second. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in award winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action. They have 10 million users. You can sign up today. And if you sign up today, you get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive that $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. With PrizePicks, you can win money as your favorite players collect points. So if you think Macklin Celebrini has more than half a goal in him, which I'm always going to think Macklin Celebrini has more than half a goal in him, you just pick more on his PrizePicks entry and turn your predictions into cash. Download the app today. Use code LOCKEDONNHL to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app, use code LOCKEDONNHL to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. Run your game. All right, let's finish up by talking about the Barracuda. But before we do that, do want to thank you guys, of course, for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. For your second listen, go check out one of the other great shows here. Of course, you have Locked On Fantasy Hockey. So if your fantasy team needs some love, needs some help, they've got you covered. Waiver wire ads, who to drop, who to target in trades, all that good stuff. Or check out one of the other shows here in the Bay Area. You got Locked On Niners, Locked On Warriors, Locked On A's, Locked On Giants. Plenty of stuff here at the Locked On Network where we cover your team every day. All right, Barracuda. Very little bit up and down weekend. Big leads in both their games, Friday and Saturday. Blew such leads to let the team, Abbotsford, come back, and then able to put Abbotsford away late. So my kind of big takeaways from this game, one, Thomas Bordeleau is playing some of his best hockey that I have seen him play. He looks like he's found his groove again. And remember, missed most of training camp in the beginning of the season with an injury. Taking him a little bit, but I think he's really starting to play some really good hockey for the Barracuda. And we know like the shots there, we know the playmaking was on display this weekend. He had an absolute beautiful pass to Colin White on Saturday night, who scored with 0.4 seconds left in the second period. But just not great passing there. But you're seeing positive play like in the dirty areas along the boards, right? And it's always with Bordeleau, that's always kind of the question is, how does he play defense? How does he play along? Like we know the playmaking and open space, like it's always been there, but he's really ironing out his game along the boards and in those dirty areas. And you're seeing that creativity kind of mixing with his kind of those dirty skills, I guess. So I think it's really, really good to see from Bordeleau. Curious to see when the Sharks call him up, especially because the Sharks are playing so well right now. And you notice like when Goodrow went on IR, they brought up Cardwell, who I think fills that bottom six role a little bit more, right? Cardwell is going to play on the PK. He's going to give you a lot of energy, like less minutes type of, but more kind of energy minutes. With Bordeleau, I think it's going to take like a top six injury. So for him to, I think, really get an opportunity here. But like I said, I think he's playing some of his best hockey right now just because of how he's playing. He's putting up points. You're seeing him be productive in the scoring, but I think off the puck and kind of those board battles and stuff, like you're seeing him, I think, playing much better than we've seen from him. And so, Luca Cagnoni continues to be awesome. 2 goals on Saturday night. Both on the power play. Did have a really bad turnover, which led directly to a goal where he just kind of tries to overskate and over puck handle, which you're with a guy like Cagnoni, you're going to have to live with those. It's very Erik Karlsson-esque, right? 9 out of 10 times he's going to make a really super awesome play, but there's that 1 out of 10 where he's going to do something where you're just like, you can't do that. I think that's why they want him to play a lot in the AHL. He's playing a lot in the AHL so that we can try to minimize those 1 out of 10s to again. So, but yeah, Cagnoni continues to be awesome. He is he's playing really well. You see just the way he just controls the puck and does whatever he wants at the blue line. The Barracuda's power play is an absolute joy to watch with Cagnoni playing. Him and you got like Colin Graff, who 3 assists on Saturday night. Like this Barracuda team is really fun. Like they're very fun. They have so many guys who can score, so many guys who can do things. It's been a really, really nice treat to watch. And then I also want to shout out Gabriel Carrier. So Carrier signed an AHL contract, played with the Barracuda 1 game last year. He's been playing in the ECHL this season. Georgi Romanov injured. He gets the call up, and a lot of people, myself included, thought, well, Aaron Dell's kind of that next guy. Carrier, Gabriel Carrier he looks like a potential diamond in the rough. I'm not saying he's going to go on and like be like some 50-game NHL starter, but just organizational depth on the goaltending has gotten so much better over the past couple of seasons. And he just looks like a guy who, if he's like your 4th goalie in the system, you're feeling really good because maybe he can make an NHL appearance here or there, like if you're really, really thin. But his lateral movement, very good. The way he sees pucks, the way he tracks pucks. I know he gave up 4 goals on Sunday, but like I rewatched the Toronto game where he was for another project I'm working on. He was outstanding in that game. He was my third. Every week for the Reef, I write the 3 stars of the week. He was my 3rd star of the week just because of that performance. He looks like a diamond in the rough. So if you're looking, Askarov, veteran goalie, Georgi Romanov, Gabriel Carrier is your like 4 goalies for the next, kind of next season. I'm perfectly fine with that. That dude looks like he is something. So there's something there. Just kind of like same thing with Georgi Romanov, right? You just kind of see, like watching him, you just kind of see something with him. Same thing with Gabriel Carrier. He just looks like he's got something there. So Kuda has to be feeling really good about had some adversity in this weekend, right? You gave up some quick goals, let the Abbotsford get back into it, but you found a way to kind of put them away here. And they play San Diego on Wednesday at home, and the next weekend they're playing Coachella. This is a really good opportunity for them to kind of go on a bit of a run here because one, Saturday night is the Teddy Bear Toss game. If you've never been to a Teddy Bear Toss game, do yourself a favor. Go get tickets. Go to the Teddy Bear Toss game. It is an absolute blast. My kids love it. It's just the energy, like in the game, in the arena before, is great. But you're playing the Goals, who are won 4 games this year on Wednesday. Like, that is a game you should win. And then you're playing Coachella, who's, been a solid team this year. And I think if you can walk away with 2 wins out of the next 3 games here you're feeling really good about where you're heading at where you're kind of heading for the Barracuda here. So great weekend for them. Go to the Teddy Bear Toss game. I'll be there. It's going to be fun. So anyway, that's going to be it for me today. We'll be back tomorrow working on a special episode tomorrow. I'm going to do a deep dive on a specific Barracuda player. So make sure you guys are following along for that. Follow along wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch this on YouTube as well. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Locked On Sharks. Follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at My Fry Hole. Till tomorrow. Bye, friends.